Good morning, all. Welcome to Crazy Morning. We are dealing with technology, so if you are not yet seeing things, we will have you very shortly. We are recording this. It is also being live streamed, so there are a number of places where you can see things. I can see some of the faces coming in that I'm wanting to see, so that's good. So due to COVID-19, that's the thing everybody has to deal with. I don't know about you guys, but I've found how things work really slowly and take a lot longer. So because of that, we wanted, though, not to miss this opportunity to share Entrepreneurship Week with you, as well as talk about our program. This has been, just like everything in the world of life nowadays, an ongoing, changing, adaptable program. And so what we want to do today, because decisions haven't been finalized on the money. So this is where we often award money, as I can see Gil Vargas is here. I can see Casey, I can see Mason. It was kind of fun getting that giant check last year. And this year we're here. So we're in our own rooms, and I certainly want you to know that we still appreciate you all. We just don't have a big check to give you. And what we wanted to do, though, is celebrate you. And we do want to welcome you to our college's 3rd annual Entrepreneurship Day. And this is sort of the culmination of a long haul for many of the students in this group. Students, here I am. They're not just my students, they're the students in terms of trying to figure out what to do as an entrepreneur. So this is a day that we are celebrating everyone, but I want to introduce you to my dean, let's see, what else is he? He's a lot of things, and I'm on several committees. So let me introduce, please, Dr. Michael Jacobs. He is the Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences. He also oversees right now the School of Business and the Entrepreneurial Studies. That's why he's here. And he also said to refer to him. And in the days of the Brady Bunch, let me introduce you to that beardy guy down there and have him talk to you. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Crum, and all of you for being here. And I am honored and excited to be a part of this wonderful program. Just as a disclaimer, I have 2 small children running around the house right now. So if you hear screams and stomping, just know that all is okay with the world. So I am Mike Jacobs. I'm the Dean of Humanities and Social Sciences, and I do oversee the School of Business and Entrepreneurial Studies. And I'm here to talk a little bit about what Launch Your Business is. So Launch Your Business provides MCC students and recent alumni an opportunity to turn their great ideas into successful businesses, or for those individuals who already own a business within the greater Rochester area, to enhance their current business operations. In just a few minutes, you will have a chance to meet and hear from this year's class of inspiring entrepreneurs. This program is made possible by the Everyday Entrepreneur Venture Fund through a partnership with the MCC Foundation. To date, Launch Your Business programs have had over 100 applicants. And this year alone, during a pandemic no less, it had over 50 applicants, from which 24 were chosen to present in May. Of those 24 presenters, 12 were given the opportunity to attend corporate college, which culminated in the presentation to compete for funding. This marks a significant growth in program participation. So, what is the process for our Launch Your Business participants? Our entrepreneurs have had a remarkable experience this past year. In March, they applied to present their ideas at MCC's Virtual Scholars Day, which took place at the end of May. Those selected at Scholars Day received mentoring from our partners at SCORE, the nation's largest network of volunteer expert business mentors, which has helped more than 11 million entrepreneurs since 1964. They also received a 6-month subscription to the industry standard business plan software Live Plan, and the coveted honor of attending MCC's corporate college this past summer. Launch Your Business applicants need not be business or entrepreneurship majors to take part in this program. While many who apply are students in the School of Business and Entrepreneurial Studies, at least a quarter of our applicants and participants are study disciplines in hospitality, health, community engagement, STEM, and the arts and humanities. Over the last 3 years, we have had 31 Launch Your Business participants attend MCC's nationally recognized corporate college program. And today, we are here to announce and celebrate this year's cohort. I would like to congratulate each of our participants for their hard work, entrepreneurial spirit, and commitment to excellence. I also want to thank Chip and Stuart Weissmiller and the Everyday Entrepreneur Venture Fund for their generous gift to MCC and the Rochester community. I would like to thank Professor Todd Corral and the Business Administration Department for their support of Launch Your Business, and the MCC Foundation for overseeing the program. Last but not least, I would like to thank MCC's Economic Development and Innovative Workforce Services for providing access to MCC's corporate college. Now, I would like to welcome my dear colleague, Dr. Kim McKenzie Mabry, Acting Vice President of Student Services and former Dean of Business and Entrepreneurial Studies, to introduce this year's Launch Your Business cohort.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Mike Jacobs. Good morning, everyone. Greetings. As Dean Jacobs said, I'm Kim McKenzie Mabry, and I currently serve as the Acting Vice President for Student Services. But my history with the Launch Your Business program is long. I was the Dean of the School of Business, and so I oversaw the program for a few years, and also have been a member of the committee since the very beginning. So I am really excited to be here with you all today. I want to just say congratulations to all of our participants. We had businesses this year from a variety of sectors: technology, virtual reality, a design company, consumer products company, and publishing. The 3 randomly selected companies you will soon be hearing about, and all of our participants have been showcased in the video loop you saw when coming into the meeting today. And the 3 representative businesses this year include Michael Schmidt with Against the Grain, Nita Brown with Mansaware, and Anita Danzy, Angels Touch Graveside Maintenance. So congratulations to all of our representative businesses this year.
Is this where I'm supposed to screen share?
Well, we got to get this. Can you share it now, Mike?
Let me see. Yes, I can.
All right. So yes, please.
All right. Hello, my name is Michael Schmidt, and my company is Against the Grain, a wood product manufacturing business. This is a little bit about myself. Sorry, gotta shrink this window. Apologies. Having trouble with this. All right, I'm just gonna leave it up there. This is a little bit about myself and my company. As you can see, I have an educational background in art and have been able to grow my hobby into a larger wood and epoxy product manufacturing business. Prior to woodworking, I received an educational training in multiple different career paths, starting with graphic design and game design, followed by culinary arts, which led to 5 years of working as a chef, doing white tablecloth dining. I found working as a chef to be very unrewarding, with lacking opportunities for advancement, which led me to fine arts and illustration while attending MCC. Prior to starting Against the Grain, I had a small business doing illustrations such as logos or custom artwork, but found the market to be unprofitable and oversaturated. In woodworking, I have found a profitable business that I am passionate about and love doing. Have you ever noticed how expensive art is? Everyone doesn't have hundreds of dollars to spend on art, so how can this problem be solved? The ability to create affordable products for consumers is limited by the tools and machines currently owned by Against the Grain. Everything is also made one at a time by hand, limiting production and efficiency. Presently, the shop is located in the basement of a historic residential home built in 1914, which is susceptible to the ambient climate of outdoor weather, be it hot, cold, or humid, adversely affecting the shape and size of wood, as well as limiting time available to safely work in the space. Here is a short video that breaks down the process and methods used to create custom orders such as the crochet bowl seen in the picture on the previous slide. Against the Grain currently offers products ranging from ergonomic handled crochet hooks and more to high-end arts such as sculptures, segmented bowls, yarn bowls, vases, and now custom chess sets. The business is looking to purchase a CNC machine that would allow them to meet customer demands for lower price point products. A CNC machine would also allow Against the Grain to expand its potential market from within 35% to over 65% of a $7.4 billion industry that shows consistent 2.1% annual growth. The market includes other sectors such as signs for businesses, custom doors, custom tables, custom cabinetry, to name a few. Patterns that would normally take countless hours to create by hand can be fully automated with 100% accuracy. This would only happen during CNC downtime and would provide additional sources of revenue. A CNC machine would greatly improve margins, allowing savings to be passed on to the consumer. While some sales are local, the majority of sales are online orders placed from over 20 states outside of New York, as well as multiple countries, including Canada, Europe, and Australia. Customers from other countries such as Europe and Australia have been willing to spend more on shipping than the cost of a custom art piece created by Against the Grain. It is very difficult to define a specific target market. Market statistics are generally not available due to the proprietary nature of the industry. The market is vast and diverse. Wood is sold at all price ranges, from a broad range of places to people of all demographic variables. That being said, my clients are primarily composed of buyers of custom artwork such as chess sets, sculptures, yarn bowls, crochet hooks, and segmented pieces. As mentioned on the previous slide, future markets include other sectors such as signs, doors, tables, and cabinetry. Over the past couple years in business, Against the Grain has been very active in growing the brand on social media through Instagram, Facebook groups, and company website. Learning about and understanding the way social media algorithms work and behave has allowed the company to better reach its potential customer. Instagram followers have increased from 200 in 2018 to over 4,000 presently. As a result of this customer discovery, the company has changed its sales strategy, creating better traction and increased sales. Average sales price has gone from $50 to $100 per sale to approximately $400 to $800 per sale, depending on the order. During the past quarter, Against the Grain has doubled the sales volume for all of 2019. The last thing a customer wants when making a major investment into artwork is to buy something being mass-produced. Against the Grain designs and produces personalized, handmade, one-of-a-kind wood and epoxy art for individuals who appreciate affordable, high-quality products, thus providing them with the kind of artwork that meets their needs of function as well as artistic appreciation. Here's a list of my advisors that are providing me with expertise in business, finance, and marketing, art, craftsmanship, and legal. Thank you for your time. Here's my contact info.
Thanks, Mike. Nita, if you're ready, go ahead, please. You're muted.
I'm looking for the share button.
Okay.
Oh, there I see.
It should be, yep, at the bottom of the screen.
I see. Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming to hear the Mansaware story. My name is Nita Brown, and I am the owner and designer for Mansaware. Mansaware is a custom clothing company. It's a minority woman business company. We're located on Park Avenue, Rochester, New York. My business is composed of two. I have retail and wholesale business. My retail business is custom made and ready to wear, and wholesale one is institutional business, such as providing chemo cups for hospital. I have my two key members, Gloria Hoffer, who's a style advisor, and John Macron, my operations manager. As you well know, today's women, they seek unique clothing that not only matches their stressful lifestyle, but they seek versatility. Women today demand maintenance-free clothing, but most important, they want to express their individuality through style. And this is where Mansaware comes in. We create ready-to-wear and custom-made clothing that one can use, very flexible, that one can use to mix and match with items already existing in one's closet to create their own unique style. We use bold patterns and vibrant Ghanaian colored fabrics. The superiority of our fabrics enables our clothing to be maintenance-free because you can just machine wash it. And you see two images of a Mansaware blouse with an anti-tailor top. And above your screen, you also see a Mansaware blouse being matched up with a corresponding mask. We have a 5-star rating on Google and over 46 Google reviews. And as you can see, not only does Rachel love the shop, because Rachel has the classic Ghanaian Mansaware style, which is a Ghanaian fabric, and with a matching mask. And if you notice, we taken advantage of everybody using smartphones, so there's a pocket. And on the other side of your screen is where we do a lot of our custom, and I design custom non-classic Ghanaian pieces, which is Anna's wedding skirt. So over the past 7 years that I've been located on Park Avenue, mainly working 15 to 35 hours a week, I've been able to gain word of mouth and by earned media, 1,500 customers. And as you can see, my customer base straddles age, race, ethnicities, and gender. So what is it about Mansaware? What we are good at is what we call the mashup. And the mashup is take your Mansaware outfit, get my cursor here, mix and match. So this is the classic skirt dress ensemble, mix and match with items already existing in your closet. We are able to provide you with flexibility and versatility. Here is some more examples of Ghanaian inspired mashups. So this is the Sinead jacket styled in 4 ways. This is the fall look, cocktail, you have a summer look, and a business look. Here again is another Mansaware mashup, a dress ensemble in 3 ways, styled 3 ways, depending on your closet and your style and the mood. Business, summer look, and this is the formal look. What's the competitive landscape? This image, I'm going to slow down. On your left-hand side is a Mansaware. So if you see each one is a Mansaware piece and it's mashed up within that already exist in people's closet. On the right-hand side is my competitors. They range from Stella McCartney right here, sells at Harrods, which is one of the most expensive shops in the world. It's located in London, England. This is Stella's pieces. You have here pure play internet players like Afrique, who have their designs here. So this is the competitive landscape that Mansaware plays in. Just wanted to share my product life cycle. So when you come in for a custom made, from order to delivery is 28 days. Customer comes in, place the order, they select the style, we talk fabric, the order goes to Ghana. It's produced, the fabrics are also from Ghana. By day 20, it's shipped back to me in Rochester. The customer comes in, they come in for a fit-in. I solicit their feedback. If it's a ready-to-wear outfit, and ready-to-wear means it's on the rack for you to pick up, that's when we do warehousing, inventory, photo shoot, and then we put online to be sold, and the process repeats again. This is my management team. So I have Gloria Style Advisor, John McCroon, and then my board of advisors who give me from Teresa, I call my muse, from financial advice, how to position myself, legal. I also have a model, and then my 2 score mentors who were just amazing in this process. I don't know how I would have done without them. I want to thank you for listening to my story. I can't wait to see you. You can visit us on Park Avenue, 367 Park, across from Magnolias. You can call us at 585-267-9960, or you can reach us on our website or all our social media platforms. And you can reach us at uniquelyyou@mansaware.com. I want to thank you for your time.
Thanks, Nita. Anita, if you are ready to go, you may share your screen with us, please. Don't forget to turn your sound on.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anita Danzy, and thank you for the opportunity of sharing my business with you, Angels Touch Grave Site Maintenance. And this was from our Launch Your Business 2020 presentation. Angels Touch Grave Site Maintenance, this is a little about me and my company. It's a minority-owned business, and it was started July of this year, 2020. And it was started out of love and respect for my grandmother, who at a very young age taught me the importance of going back and taking care of our loved ones' grave sites that went before us. And it was done out of love and respect for my grandmother that I started this business. And also for a daughter that I lost as an infant who was named Angel as well. So this company really means a lot to me, and I'm really tied into it. And then again, it was the lessons taught at a very young age by my grandmother that really spearheaded me into doing this. The problem I discovered in 2012 after my father died, and I found myself spending a lot of time at his gravesite. And what I had been taught way back as a little girl kicked in from my grandmother. So I started just weeding and taking care of, his actual plot. So this is what it was before I started, once I got over the initial grief, and this is what I ended up with after. And after sitting there and watching my father's plot, I would look to the neighbors to the left and the right, and I had to make them beautiful as well. So they all were cohesive and they all look good together. And again, the solution is Angels Touch Gravesite Maintenance. We'll come in and we'll clean the headstone area. We'll weed the area. We'll apply fresh soil. We'll apply fresh flowers or silk flowers and mulch and stone. And these latter couple are dependent upon the actual cemetery, because every cemetery has different rules and regulations that we do adhere to. So I am familiar with those rules and regulations as well. And our customers are people that look just like all of us. Our customers come from the Black and Brown community, from the Hispanic community, from the Jewish community. So we are definitely open for anyone. And again, the customers look like everyday people. Anyone that needs our services, we are available. In our value proposition, why should customers choose us? Because in today's world, people's schedules are so busy, or they just don't have time to do what they really want to do. So again, no time in the busy schedule, or they're physically unable. And I service quite a few elderly citizens as well, and no local representation. People are constantly moving out of the Rochester area, out of New York State for that matter. So we are here at Angels Touch to fill in that gap. And for some people, it's just too emotional to go out there and do that. I have a sister that will not go to this day to our father's gravesite, or it's stress-free. I want you to be able to go visit your loved one, and when you get there, everything's beautiful. So it's not a stressful visit when you get there and you're concerned about the overgrown weeds or anything like that. So that's where Angels Touch come in. And what better way to show your feelings and honor your loved one's memory than providing a beautiful, maintained resting place. And this is, there are 17 local cemeteries within Monroe County. I've worked exclusively with these 6, so I'm very familiar with their rules and regulations. And again, that's Holy Sepulchre, Riverside, Falls, Grove Place, Mount Hope, or Oakwood. So again, Angel's Touch will go anywhere within Monroe County and take care of your loved ones. Because we just started in July of 2020, I have on my board of advisors, I have my 2 SCORE mentors and also a consultant that I do rely upon. And again, my name is Anita Danzy. I am the owner operator of Angel's Touch Gravesite Maintenance. We can be reached at P.O. Box 64916, and we're in Rochester, New York, or 454-9222, or we can be reached at angelstouchgravesite@gmail.com. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anita. I appreciate that. So I'm going to take this moment here. Oh, maybe I put my face on so you know I'm talking to you. All right, so we're running a little ahead of schedule, which is great. So what I would like to do is, these are the people that just presented. They were not selected because they were any closer to money than anybody else. So it's just an opportunity to pick some representations of the businesses that were presented this year in our cohort. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Jodelle. Thanks, guys.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Marge. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. And thank you and great job to Michael, Nita, and Anita. I'm Adjunct Assistant Professor Jodelle Raymond from the Business and Economics Department here at MCC. And I have the wonderful opportunity to engage with our panelists, Casey Rodriguez from Rolling Spuds, Gilberto Vargas III from GB3 Barbershop, Mason Broomfield from Upstate Lash Bar, and Pat Tharp, the Chai Guy. So let's open this up a little bit. I certainly, as you're giving your opening, I want you all to talk a little bit about certainly your elevator pitch, as we call it, but also where you got your ideas for your business, the concept, how you came to where you are today. So if you could also just do a little bit of background and then also include your idea or business concept. And Casey, we'll just start with you.
Hello and good morning. Let me start by saying congratulations to each and every one of you. I cannot imagine doing what you did inside of a pandemic and all via online. It was already very difficult. So with each and every one of you, like, power through that, congratulations. Like, that's, I can't imagine. So anyways, I'm Casey Rodriguez. I am owner operator of Rolling Spuds, which is a mobile food service. So much like what you would see anywhere, food truck, or in my case, it's a food trailer. So after I received the assistance and funds from the group, I purchased a trailer. And we specialize in loaded baked potatoes specifically for our menu, but we can do catering, anything that you would like. A little bit about why I chose this business is kind of a broad answer. I love to cook. I've always wanted to own a restaurant, and I just kind of went for it. I spent almost a decade in the military, and then afterwards I kind of had this moment of, what do I want to do? And I kind of just did it as best I could. So that's kind of me. That's my business. And that's a little bit about why I chose that business.
Casey, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
A little bit also, I wanted to I think I just don't see Gilberto on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to Mason while we try to get Gilberto back. Mason, let's talk a little bit about your business and your history. Love to hear it.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Again, I would like to say what Casey said and congratulate everybody. And I couldn't imagine going through what we went through the summer before, but doing it during a pandemic. It's a lot of work, everybody that put the time in. I'm Mason Broomfield. I'm a small business owner in Canandaigua, New York. I own the Upstate Lash Bar located on State Route 332, basically in between the Farmington Thruway exit and downtown Canandaigua on the main drag. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a 4-time certified eyelash extension technician. I graduated from MCC in 2018 with a certification in small business management. I found out about the Launch Your Business program. I think the first day I set foot on campus, I was at basically an introduction of the college and a tour, and I was told about Launch Your Business. So I immediately signed up, enrolled, and tried to get some funding for my business. I was granted an award last year. And with that money, I have put it into my new space. I have a 1,200 square foot salon now. And with that funding, I was able to completely furnish it, renovate the inside, and get all the marketing and everything necessary for the business.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad to, I certainly watched your progress last year and know that you also have a bit of a story to tell when we get to, when we talk about how COVID has impacted your businesses. So we'll get to that in a bit. I'll give Gilberto a little bit of time, and Pat, I'll go to you and then we'll go to Gilberto. So Pat, welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here with our distinguished hosts and our inspiring entrepreneurs. And I just wanted to say thanks for having the Chai Guy here. How did I get into the business? Basically, I went to India. I'm a musician. My history is in music. I did some music over there, some teaching. And then I just started drinking chai when I was in India. And I fell in love with chai, with the culture, with the people, with the food, and just started making chai on the side for my own personal enjoyment. My history, in addition to music, is I was a general contractor, hence the flannel. And I still love flannels because now it's hip to wear flannel. And so I just started making chai just for fun. And about 6 years ago, I took a step of faith and said, hey, why don't we try sharing this amazing drink with people at the public market? So after a year of just fighting my own fears and not sure if this was even a business because I have no business history. Full disclosure, I am an MCC dropout. So that is... But I'm here, and I think the seeds were planted because my last semester at MCC, I took a business course, and I always had a gravitational pull towards business. I just didn't know how to get there. And so I kind of stumbled into being an entrepreneur, but I'm grateful for the seeds that were planted many years ago. But I kind of took the long way around the barn. But we opened up 6 years ago at the public market. We have a cafe there just on Saturdays. We also currently serve about 30 coffee shops from Sodas to Buffalo who carry our chai as their chai drink. And then 4 months ago, we opened up our first brick and mortar at 729 Park Ave with the Chai Guy Cafe. And so we're really honored to do what we do. And it's just, we love the drink, but we're really focused and laser focused on customer service. That's kind of what makes us tick. And we really want to give everyone that comes through our doors, either at the cafe at the market or at Park Ave, an experience that's unforgettable.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Gilberto, welcome back. Good to see you. Again, your idea, business concept, if you can talk a little bit about that, and also just why you chose what you chose.
Well, so I own a barbershop. It's called GV3 Barbershop. I'm actually here right now. Basically, when I went to college, I went for political science, and I wasn't really thinking about cutting hair, but I started cutting hair in high school for my friends. I never thought that, you know, I never wanted to be a barber or anything like that. It was just, I was the kid who had the clippers and I cut my own hair. So I just offered, you know, my close friends. But when I stopped going to school, I also dropped out in my sophomore year. I knew that I needed a skill, and I needed to have a trade under my belt. My father, he does construction, so I knew that in order to, you know, pave your own way, you needed to do something, just some type of skill or trade. So naturally, I just gravitated towards barbering, and who would have thought that I ended up opening up a barbershop. And with the help of Launch Your Business, we just moved to a larger location. This is actually it right here. We have 8 chairs. And yeah, it's really fun. It's really nice. We're located on Monroe, not too far away from the Chai Guy. I'm actually a Park Ave frequent. So it's good to see everybody in here. And yeah. I think you're on mute, Jodelle.
I always do that. Thank you, Gilberto. We can have our reunion, certainly. We're getting questions from our audience. If you, this is a great one. If you had not received any money from the committee, how would you have funded your businesses?
Is this
Who wants to take that one? Yeah, Gilberto, why don't you start?
Oh, I'll take it. Well, it was nice to meet everybody. So, you know, if I went through the process and if I didn't get chosen to receive the grant, then I still would have followed up with a lot of the resources that I met during the process. We met some people from Venture Jobs Foundation. They also provide low interest loans to startup businesses in the community. So I still would have reached out to them. And also just networking through friends and family, and going to, you know, financial institutions like.
Oh, did we lose him?
I think he just walked off.
Okay. All right. So
back.
Here we go. We'll work on that. So Casey Mason, would one of you wanted to take this question over?
Sure. I actually was already up and running at a smaller location before competing in Launch Your Business. So I was already making somewhat of a profit. I had a larger profit margin because my utilities and rent was a lot cheaper than it currently is at the new larger location. So I was able to save and work towards opening up my own shop. I had said it in my presentation a year prior that this salon would have been open no matter what, whether it was taking out low interest loans, finding grants through the community, working with the Chamber of Commerce in your local area, trying to find grants and loans through them as well. But I was well off by having the income that I had previously before getting any grants.
You know, certainly it's, I think the key is, from what it sounds to me, like you take advantage of every single opportunity. And this was really, the program was certainly the catalyst for moving you forward. But it sounds like you had, you know, backup plan, as we, I think, do as business owners. Sometimes we're on Z, right? And then we go to double A, double B, double C, right? Have that plan and then have that backup plan. Casey, what did you do? Certainly didn't want to forget you.
As I said earlier, I bought a trailer after I received the funds. I had a truck to start with, and that was out of my personal funds. So I would have continued to attempt to use personal funds, which is exactly what I didn't want to do because I'm a mother of 3. I have like a mortgage and then, you know, the whole like 9. So it's difficult. But the grants, I will tell you that SCORE was a huge player for me because my mentor specifically is constantly shooting me emails about grants or about classes and webinars and different stuff like that. ESL has stuff, and we were given a liaison, so to speak, for the fiduciary at ESL, and they're really good about kind of guiding you there. So you can have a line of credit there. You can attempt to pitch your business the same as you pitched here, whether it worked out or not. You can pitch your business at a bank. And so those things work. I mean, I know a lot of people don't really want to have to borrow money because it's terrifying. It's a challenge and you have to push yourself. So it's really, like you said, something about being an entrepreneur. I think that you just, same as Mason did. Mason, honestly, she was in a smaller spot. She saved. Gil was the same way. He was in a smaller shop. He saved. He was trying to figure out how to do it. You're constantly like brainstorming. You're constantly adapting and overcoming. As an entrepreneur, I can only say that this lifestyle is about adapting and overcoming. And every challenge, whether your supplies gets there on time or whether you're trying to work on getting someone else, like you're just adapting. So grants, your fiduciary or bank, however you can do it. And it is a challenge. It's not easy. And it's like one hill climb after the next. That's what I would say.
Sounds like certainly that you've been successful. So kudos to you. You know, keep climbing those hills. I know that you'll be a success to, you know, you've gone through the program and it's awesome to see what you have done with your business. Gilberto, are you back with us?
Yes, I don't know why I keep getting disconnected here. I don't know how much of that you guys caught.
We actually caught a pretty good amount, but you know what, just if you can summarize for us again, and I see questions in the chat and our Q&A, certainly we will get to those questions as well. Thank you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the Q&A or the chat. So let's talk about, Gilberto, about, again, just to summarize for us, you know, where you were with the business. You had opened to a new location, correct?
Yeah, so it was actually with a lot of things were going in motion at one time. I had my small shop, which is about 200 square feet, and that's very, very small. We were squeezed in there like sardines, and I knew it was time to get into a bigger, larger spot. So while we were going through the MCC application process and all that, I was just actively shopping, and I found this location only 2 blocks away from the old location. And I was thinking that maybe I could have them both open, have the small flagship location and then also have the bigger one down the street that we filled up and everything was golden. I actually rented it out and didn't end up moving in until after COVID. So for about 9 months, I was paying 2 rents, and through COVID and through the competition, I was paying 2 rents, knowing that this spot was the perfect spot. Well, because of COVID and everything, I kind of had to let the old shop go and had to focus on one area. So that's kind of how we're at where we are now. We were, you know, going into the business plan of through the Launch Your Business program. It was always 2 shops. I didn't really want to let the other shop go. And with everything that went on, it kind of just made me focus just on one, which in hindsight is way better. And I think that if I took that approach going in to Launch Your Business, you know, it would have been more of a clear and concise, you know, goal.
Good. Yeah. You know, sometimes expansion, you know, you see businesses expand too far, too fast. So good for you that you recognize that. Pat, I have not forgotten you. I wanted to certainly get you off of mute and give us certainly an idea where you talked a little bit about the concept for your business, but honestly, why you chose what you chose. You know, how did you come to that conclusion of this is what I was going to do? Well, what was that aha moment, in other words?
Yeah, I kind of came to a spot where I was doing my home improvement business. So I'm doing painting, plumbing, electrical, drywall. and stuff that I had learned, been doing for years, scattered site maintenance, and started my own business. So I'm doing quotes, and I'm doing meeting with new customers, and I'm picking up supplies from Lowe's and Home Depot and local hardware stores. So at the same time, I'm doing my Saturday thing at the Chai, and I'm finding that running two businesses was completely driving me insane. Like I didn't have the bandwidth to keep it going. Like entrepreneurs, like we're juggling things all the time. So I'm juggling two businesses. And I don't think I had an aha moment until I came to that fork in the road where I had to decide, what did I want to do? Do I want to be the Chai guy, or do I want to be the repair guy? And so I decided at this point in my life, where I am in life and age and experience, I thought, you know what? I can always do repair stuff, but maybe this is an opportunity to do something that I like better, and that I love sitting around. I don't sit around a lot, but I like the relational aspect of meeting customers and having a Chai and giving them space and place to, you know, to do what we do. Like it's hard in COVID, but to have community and to have conversation and to have dialogue and to set someone on their day with a great drink. So, you know, for me, the aha moment was my decision point to say, I'm hanging up my hammer and I'm going to go all in on this. And if it doesn't work, then I can always go back and paint. I can always go back and do this. I got skills, but I'm going to at least take the step, because if I don't take the step, I'll never know if I could do it. So that became my aha moment to say, I think we can make a business of this. I think we can serve people. I think we have a unique product and our customer service. And I think we were building up momentum to get me to that spot where I could actually take that step and go, okay, bye-bye paintbrush, hello Chai pot. So, you know, that was kind of, for me, was a self-discovery along the way.
So someone in our chat asked what Chai is. Can you,
Yeah.
I know I've had it,
Yeah.
but what is it?
So Chai traditionally is a spiced tea. Most people, when they get Chai at some of the big box stores, it's usually a powder or a syrup or a concentrate. Even some of the good coffee shops carry a powder stuff. So we say that we serve real Chai, which is made in an Indian tradition. So it's kind of like Chai is very popular like in India, the Middle East, and Africa. And it's kind of like we're a very coffee culture. And in other parts of the world, they're very tea-based or a Chai. So it's basically the tea with the milk or tea with a dairy substitute together makes your Chai.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's not a powder, right?
No.
You don't use that. Okay.
No,
Okay.
I
That's all I've
sometimes,
seen.
yeah,
Huh,
when
interesting. Okay.
I see powdered Chai, I literally go into convulsions because it annoys me so much. Some
Okay.
people just don't know. It's like, yeah, a TV dinner is good. I should say it's edible, but doesn't mean it's real food. Like
Real
it doesn't mean like it's the best you can give. So it's we brew all of our Chai, our tea base, from scratch with all natural ingredients in an Indian tradition. So a lot of people that drink it as they in their culture will come in and say, wow, this reminds me of my mom's Chai. And it's like, that's like the highest compliment when someone says it's as good as their mom's. So we're completely honored to carry on that tradition of our Chai and our brewing service.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to have to try the non-powdered. Okay,
Yeah, the
so
real
I don't
Chai.
want to give
real
you
Chai.
I don't want to give you a fit. Okay, good.
No, thank you.
A question from the audience. What was the biggest unexpected challenge that you've had so far? Let's talk about, what came up in your business that, oh my goodness. So I think I know what this is, but let's see. KC.
My biggest challenge was, how do I get things on my, so I bought the trailer. My biggest challenge was getting logos, getting repairs done. So as soon as we got the funding, it all kind of came through. I purchased the trailer and I couldn't get I couldn't get a health permit. I couldn't get any of the work done on the inside of the truck, because when everything shut down, there were people that were like, we don't know when we can open back up, or we may be able to do this, or we may be able to do that. And specifically, the health department was giving no new health permits to any food establishment that wasn't pre-existing or who hadn't already gotten their health permit. So they were kind of shutting that off for anyone new. They were just working with who they had, and they weren't moving forward with anyone new. So it stopped me in my tracks. I couldn't get anything done, even for the logos and stuff like that, if we aren't talking about health permit. So I left. I packed up my truck and my trailer and my kids, and we went down south to my hometown. And I had a lot of the inside welding and structural stuff done down south. I had all of my logos and stuff done down south with some guys I went to school with. So I was really stuck here in Monroe County with like, what do I do? I have no idea how to move forward. Unlike Gil, he already had a standing business, and Mason, she as well, even though she faced a ton of challenges. Same with Gil, just because like they kind of shut everybody down, but I couldn't even get started. And it really put me in a position of like, is this something I want to do? Do I even start in 2020? Do I just let go of this entire idea and not do anything? Like, how do you face that? And now your kids are at home 24/7, your spouse or significant others working from home. How that was a challenge in itself. Just beginning was my biggest challenge with the pandemic. How do I get started? That was it. Cause I was shut. I was like, the door was slammed, and I was like, I have no idea how to face this. Yeah. So that's it.
Pat, let's go to you. Your biggest unexpected challenge.
Wow. I mean, it'd be easy to say the pandemic, like for sure. Like I think all of us would say yes to that. But for me, opening up the Park Ave location I didn't realize how much everything would cost. Like, I'm like, yeah, we could open this cafe for like, 10 grand or 20 grand or whatever. And then when my wife and I did a budget and said, all right, this is how much wood's going to cost us, because we did all the work ourselves. Like we bootstrap everything. So I had to pay for plumbing, electrical with licensed contractors for the city for code reasons. But with my history, I could have done it all and with a little help, but I couldn't. And then as you're, purchasing materials, I'm like, how did that sign outside cost me $2,000? Like, I thought it'd be like $500. Like, this isn't 1940, dude. I'm like, so it's like, how did that floor cost me, almost $5,000? And that's me putting it in. So there are unexpected costs that just really took us by surprise. We signed a lease in January. We put our last literally dollars down to secure this place with a deposit. We figured we could work on it for a couple months and save the money and do the work. But as we got into the project, it was so overwhelming. I didn't realize how much stuff would cost, which led us to wonder, are we going to even be able to open? Which led us to, long story, but actually we got financing through a customer that I did maintenance work for 20 years, who is a wealthy local business owner, and they gave us 20 grand. And so that actually saved us. So it was relational capital that I had invested of working for them trusting me in their house, me doing the work. And it was that kind of capital that I tapped into down the road. And they were able to say, yeah, you've served us well. You're an honest guy. We trust you. We did a handshake deal and they gave me 20 grand. And that got the project going. And then we got another 10 from the Small Business Administration. And that helped us open our doors. We did all the work ourselves. So just the cost of doing this for entrepreneurs, I'd say, is get realistic, pricing, because that can really be a breaker if you're not prepared to pay that money out. And we weren't, but it worked out good. But it caught us by surprise.
Yeah. We always look at with budgets to increase that by about 20%, 25%, just to be on the realistic side.
Yeah.
You don't want to get caught. And you bring up a good point about relationships and how, relationships and forming those relationships in your case with a customer, that trust and bringing that forward into your new business. That's really phenomenal.
Yeah. I think integrity, and I think, the people in business, we see the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Right.
And so we see the best of people, and sometimes we see the worst of people, and we can see it in ourselves as well. But I think even if you as a business owner mess up, I mean, you owning your mistake, apologizing, trying to make it right, because the people you meet on your way up, you know, and the way down, you always cross. So, I mean, and Rochester isn't like a huge town. You burn people, you get a reputation.
Yes.
And I think the most important thing we have is our names and our reputation going forward, because that will affect every aspect of our business going forward. So
Sure.
that's for me,
Yep.
that's a big thing.
Yeah, your word is your bond, and
Yeah.
you have to, you have to stick to that.
Yeah.
Mason, talk a little bit about, your biggest unexpected challenge.
Yeah. Obviously, I would say COVID. I was actually in the beginning of March, I was down in Utah for another certification in my industry. When I returned, it was a weekday. It was the same day that Monroe County had gotten their first case of COVID, and I was actually in the same airport on the same day as the first confirmed case, so I freaked out. I worked here in my new location for 3 days before I was mandated to shut down by the state. That was absolutely insane. I was still paying, like Pat had said, like, you don't know what even your sign outside is going to cost. I was thinking like $1,200. I paid $4,700 for a light up sign on the front of my building. So I'm paying the sign guy through lockdown. I'm paying my rent through lockdown. I'm paying gas and electric, even though I haven't been in here and working. So I dipped into my savings by quite a bit during the pandemic and being in lockdown. Another thing that was kind of pushed off because of the pandemic was my goal of hiring other employees. I had 2-3 girls that were going to come work for me upon opening my new shop. And while our industry was closed, they had decided to leave the beauty industry and start careers in different fields. So I'm still trying to find employees. One of the main selling points of my business was that once I had renters and commissioned employees, that would basically cover a lot of my expenses at the new location. But since I don't have those people, I'm now footing the bill for higher rent, everything that was not an issue at my smaller location. But yeah, I think COVID really took an impact on everybody's business. And I know we're preparing for what looks like maybe a second shutdown in the near future. I'm pretty lucky. I'm actually in Ontario County, where we have less than 200 active cases,
Right.
where I know I heard Monroe County had 370 test positive yesterday. So I'm sending some positivity your guys' way. I'm scared for small businesses there. I see what happened in Buffalo just 2 days ago. A lot of my lash artist friends have had to close their salon unexpectedly. So.
Right. So good. Thank you so much. And Gilberto, didn't want to forget you on this one. So talk a little bit of unexpected.
Yeah, I pretty much fall in line with everybody else. Absolutely, COVID was the most unexpected thing that we could run into. But also, just like Pat, the surprising expenses of getting your place up and open. The spot we're in now, we had to put our own the floor in, and 750 square feet of flooring is. You'd be surprised if you want the waterproof one. That's a while. That thing is a couple dollars a square foot, so it adds up. But just trying to be creative with your solutions. Like this place that I'm in now, it's not 100% done. We are working as we go. I'm trying to be smart with the spending decisions, preparing for the possibility of a second shutdown that Mason talked about. So it's just things like this. It's trying to be creative, just trying to be forward thinking, and try to prepare for what's to come. We can only control so much. So, just trying really hard to, focus on what you can't control and the things and the decisions we make every day. I think that's how you overcome any type of adversity, really.
Yeah, that's a good point. Focus on what's in your control. I have a question for our corporate college attendees. And Casey, I know you have to leave a little early, so I'm going to start with you on this. The greatest takeaway that you think that you took from our corporate college, your participation in that program.
That's a tough question. The greatest takeaway, consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that that's probably the one word I could take away from it. Like, I thought business ownership, I went through a business 110 class. I was in culinary school. Just consistency. I have thought, honestly, like, is this it? Should I do this? This is hard. This is so hard. Even in the summer when we were heading into class at times, and we were there for, it was only the day a week, but 8 hours. And then you were expected to meet with your advisor. And consistency, it just, that is the one takeaway, I think, for me personally, that you have to understand when you're looking at finances. Pat made a very good point. Even the money I received, you don't understand how fast it goes. And you look to try and compare prices with people to find out what they would charge, and you realize, holy cow, like, I'm running out of money fast. And even staying consistent in that, consistent in searching for the person who can give you the right price, consistent in the terms of like shopping for yourself, consistent in searching out those grants, consistency in not giving up on your dream, consistency in trying to rethink or reconfigure how you would do it during a pandemic. Or consistency is the one word I think that would blanket statement everything. Just remembering, no matter what challenge that I faced, knowing that I had to be in class all the time and I had to be held accountable, staying consistent. And I guess that's not something that was taught. It was kind of forced. Like, you got to be here. You got to do this. Show me how you're going to do it. And it's just like, if you don't stay consistent, it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been times that I've been like, forget it. Forget it. And if I didn't like just pull myself out of that rut and stay consistent, I'm not sure. And I still have to stay consistent every day, looking forward to 2021 or what this next season will look like. Consistency. That's it.
That's a good one. Throughout my business career, I always made sure that, and owned several businesses over the years. I always made sure that I did, one thing, at least one thing per day, especially when starting and you're working another job or whatever. It was always, go back to that business, get into the habit of, and I started out really hobby with my apparel business, but do that one thing per day. And then later on, as you get more time, as I did get more time, it was, okay, now I have 4 hours to play with, but yeah, I think that's a very, very good point. Thank you for that. Mason, talk a little bit about what you think you took away from corporate college.
I think that the biggest thing that I got from the entire Launch Your Business experience was just the connections and resources and the network that I was able to build with my mentors, my professors, anybody that I even met just on Entrepreneurship Day. I feel like I have some lifelong contacts now at this point. I still talk to my mentor on a very regular basis. I have both of my mentors on social media. They've followed what I'm doing with my business. They see my personal life, everything. I talk to them on the phone, email, any question that I have. I just spoke to my one mentor yesterday because of the looming shutdown, I asked advice on what I should do with that. I have business cards from people from RIT, some of the judges from last year. I have a really amazing attorney that was actually my law professor at MCC, and I work with him outside of school now. He negotiated my lease for me. So I just feel like I got amazing connections and was able to build a really amazing network of people by going through this program. And I also have my business plan still from Live Plan that I can show anybody at any time. I have faced challenges because of my age. I'm only 20. So when I wanted to lease my space, nobody would take me seriously. I was able to print out my business plan on Live Plan and show it to my landlord and show him the numbers, show him what I'm trying to do, and explain, this is what I'm doing. I need you to trust me. And he trusted me and leased it out to me. And I feel like I was just set up for success by going through this program, honestly.
Yeah, great, great. Certainly, my goodness, with the resources. And I remember last year hearing how old you were and how impressed I was with, with you and talking to you. I believe it was your grandmother, and in your business and how you have evolved over the years. That's really, really impressive.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Gilberto. Corporate college.
Yeah,
Experience, certainly.
Yeah, it was great. It was really the relationships you build there. Just getting to know my mentors more. John Deal, he just was great throughout the whole experience. And also the program that you run through down there is really detailed. And for me, I'm a hands-on guy. I get through a lot of my problems just by coming to the shop and just doing as many haircuts as I can and just making more money. So when I get the chance to sit down and focus on, the behind the scenes, the numbers, my expenses versus, the income, and really just getting down and just taking a breath and just analyzing, what's been going on for the past month, year, 2 years, and be able to make decisions going forward. I think that is something that I brought to my business now and today, that just every once in a while, just being able to sit down and just analyzing the numbers and just writing down the numbers and keeping track of everything. And that's something that corporate college really helped. But most importantly, I think, is the relationships you build over there and the types of people that you see, because the people who choose to volunteer in SCORE and through the corporate college, at least speaking for myself, I don't get to run into many people like that on my day-to-day. So it's nice for that experience and to hold those relationships.
Yes, thank you. For our attendees, MCC's corporate college program is certainly a renowned program. For the purposes of our participants, they went through corporate college and actually learned how to, went through the process of writing their business plan, focusing on their marketing plan, and understanding really what the numbers were saying. So budgeting, cash flow projections, making sure that, their financials were, in equal to what their aspirations were, in terms of, not only planning for or forecasting, but making sure that they had enough to, to launch their business, literally. But certainly you can find out more about our corporate college program. It's on our site. Just type in corporate college and it will take you, it will take you right there. Let's talk a little bit about what, I think sometimes as business owners, it's your chief cook and bottle washers is what I call it. What do you do to keep your business going? I want you to think in terms of the four P's, price, place, promotion, product. What do you do on a consistent basis to keep your business fresh, and keep furthering your business? Pat, I'm going to go to you for this one. What kinds of things can you think of off the top of your head?
I'm always looking for inspiration. I don't really look at a lot of competition. Like I think someone in the chat said, do you have competition? It's like, yeah, we're surrounded by coffee shops on Park Ave and in all of Rochester. Some of our customers, some are not. So I'm always, my model is, I try to make every experience that a customer has a memorable one. We say we make great chai for every moment of life. So I actually try to work to make the stars of our business our customers. That's why when they come in the shop, they're in the selfie zone. I mean, like, I'm going to take a picture with them. They become, in a sense, the ambassadors for our brand. So I try to keep it fresh by, being aware of, certain trends, like if it's a season, like a fall season, our drinks will reflect that kind of, pumpkin spice, yay, and we'll have some creative things that I've been seeing, but we try to do things that are original. And then we also try to, our marketing strategy is kind of like guerrilla warfare. Like, it's really ground oriented. It's like, we're the tortoise, not the hare. We're in it for the long haul. So we're trying to build our business by having amazing customer interaction that carries that joy out, that carries that experience out. And so we want to build that way. So it's our marketing is, we don't pay for marketing. I don't care about being at the top of the search engine results. I don't want to be number one in Google. Personally, I'm probably going against the grain on some conventional wisdom, and there'll be pushback, but I want us to be number one in the hearts of every person that comes in that door, and the 10 people that they tell about their experience. So we really go at a grassroots level of marketing our products and making them the star of the show and not us.
So it's really focusing on that customer and what that, having a customer centric approach to your marketing.
Yeah, I mean, if we all know Starbucks and for good, for bad, whatever. I mean, was his name Howard Schultz said it's not about the coffee, it's about the experience. At least when they started, they were focused on customer experience. The coffee was a side note. It was when they come in, are they greeted? Are they served well? Is it warm? Do they get the coffee feel? So we really focus on the customer and their experience, because they're the ones that can make or break a business. That's where we really focus our energy on.
Great. Before you go, Casey, I want to take just a couple of minutes. I know that you're running on time here. So if you could answer this.
I'm not leaving. Sorry.
Oh, you're not.
My
Okay.
husband said he would take care of it.
Okay. All right. All right. Great. So we have more of you. Perfect.
Lucky you.
Yes, lucky us. Okay. So if you could, talk about what you do to keep the business going.
I'll go back to consistency. That's been hard. Trying to adapt and overcome with a food truck. There is a time where that once it hits a certain temperature, you can no longer safely use the bottle system that goes with your hood system without keeping the truck at above 32, or I think it's either 32 or 34 degrees. So you would have to heat your truck or have maybe a large building you could put it in that's like climate controlled. So that's been hard, which is kind of a good thing in a way. I'm not like Pat, Mason, and Gil in terms of the fact that they're going to keep hustling. They're going to keep hustling. I kind of get a moment to shut myself off and then brainstorm from now until 2021 hits. And how do I catch that warm time? And how am I going to process through? So I'm fortunate in the respect that I get to take a breath and plan. I'm also picking up I went out to Rootstock, which is in Williamson, and I just acted as the night chef for one time and did a dinner, a private booking. And so I'm doing things like that, doing a little things where I deliver some food to some friends that have businesses. I have a roofing friend, and so different things. But I have the ability to step back every year and kind of take that cold months and reevaluate and plan. And that is where that I think, as much as it kind of throws me off a little bit, it amps me back up. I'm one to get easily distracted. I'm like a bird or a cat. I'm everywhere. So I can easily get thrown off. And so that time gives me time to like decompress, realize where that I've messed up, or where that like Pat said, I loved his answer about how that he likes the grassroots and not worrying about that algorithm and that he's at the top. That really made me think. Like I was in the middle of writing him a little comment because I didn't think about stuff like that. I've been doing some things privately and I wasn't taking those pictures with people or taking that time. So this time for me to decompress makes me think about that. So that would be my long and short answer, I guess. I hope that kind of covered what you asked.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
So.
Gilberto, let's talk a little bit about what you think in terms of, keeping your business going.
Yeah, these guys hit the nail right on the head. Every customer is so important. The one thing I tell barbers who are just starting, because I got a couple barbers who just starting, just trying to build their clientele. So try to tell them the best ability is availability. And so just being available, being when someone needs something, you're there to fill their need. And that's why we're in business, and that's why we do this is the service, the product that we offer. When people need it, we're open. I'm sure that the coffee shop, every store that we have, once that time to open the doors hits, we're there, and we're trying to fill the needs of the community, and that just maximizes your opportunity for success. You want to just provide the best service, take care of your people, and just be available.
Yeah, thank you. Especially, in this day and age, I think you really have to keep looking and scanning that environment even more so now. I mean, we used to do a strategic plan, and have that hold for 5 years. We can't do that anymore. We can't get away with that. So looking ahead and trying to forecast and think of things that, can come up. And I think it's really the challenge and, going forward. And it's also motivating though, in a sense. What kind of resources, it brings me to, what do you use to, or have you used, to help you in the business? I know that there are different things out there. You've worked with SCORE mentors. Have you used anything like the SBDC? I know, Mason, you talked about the chamber. What have you used to kind of help you get the word out and help you, run your business? So I'm just going to open that up. Who wants to take that one?
I will.
Okay.
I believe that social media is your best friend, and you don't need to do the paid advertising or promoting posts or anything like that, but just having an active social media that you carry your in-person brand and your social media branding like across all platforms is the recipe to success. If you can appeal to your clientele through social media, they'll want to come and meet you, they'll want to book with you, they'll want to see your space, like because they see it online, they see you encouraging them to come in, and they want to meet you, you want to meet them. I feel like that's your number one source. When it comes to having a membership with the local Chamber of Commerce, I don't know what Rochester does, but in Canandaigua, they have like the megaphone. Basically, it allows you in your membership, you get one free megaphone use, and you can put out anything you want to everybody else that's in the chamber and also anybody that's subscribed. So for me, I will be using that. I was going to use it months ago before COVID to announce my grand opening. I am still have yet to do a grand opening because of regulations and stuff like that. When I can, I will be using that to blast out the news to the public about this new location and what I am and who I am, what I do, stuff like that. They also offer promotions for like ribbon cutting ceremonies. They can come up and take photos. I've reached out to like the Daily Messenger here in Canandaigua. I had an article written about myself as the business owner and the new location, just and all of that. I mean, the membership to the chamber costs money, but everything else is free. It's basically just trying to see who's going to listen to you and give you the time of day. And if they will, it'll get out there.
Yeah, great. Right. Pat, what about you? What have you used in terms of community or county or state resources or anything for marketing? Whatever.
So when I first started, I did take a number of SCORE classes,
Huh.
and so I got some mentorship there and some helpful information back in the early day. As far as I would just tag on to that is I think that we kind of in our environment, how can I say this? In our current environment, I understand, like, I mean, I'm inspired by, young entrepreneurs, people, like Mason, they're rocking it. It's like, yeah, you're 20, like, awesome, man. Like you're just rocking it. And I think in business that we tend to neglect the seasoned business owners, people that have been around for a while, people that own businesses and are successful. I think that they are an untapped treasure. I met a guy at a paint store who had opened up multiple $1 million businesses and was just working at a paint store because he just wanted to be around people, and he did woodwork at home. And I got talking to this guy, and I got this guy, and I had like lunch with him, and I picked his brain, and he just dropped I bought him lunch, and he consulted with me. And it was just like, it was like a fire hose, and I'm just writing stuff down. And I said to him, I'm like, I'll call him Bob. I said, Bob, how come you're not, doing this? And he goes, well, I've tried getting work and with consultants, but they're looking for the younger guys. Like, there's nothing against the age, but there are people that have walked a lot farther down the road and are successful, that I think if you can find those veterans in the business, they are more than happy, like SCORE, to share with you and to give you the knowledge they've learned, and they're happy to pour it into an eager and hungry heart. So I really try to avail myself to people that I see successful and have been doing it for a while. I haven't had the opportunity, like many of our guests here, to go through the MCC program, but those can facilitate with the mentorship and the experience, which is just, you need that to succeed. You need to surround yourself with people that you may not be the smartest in a room, but there are other people that have those skills and gifts that they can impart to you.
Great, thank you. Certainly that's that relationship thing.
Yeah.
That's a very smart thing. Take people out for lunch or coffee or, a Zoom chat.
Yeah.
In this right now. But yeah, that's and pick their brain and be open to whatever advice that they give you. I've also done that as well, and find that invaluable. And it's a great way to meet people and just find out more about, what makes them tick, what their success, motivates them to succeed. I know certainly Gina from SBDC is saying, don't forget about us, we're here. So certainly, the SCORE mentors are SBDC, small business development centers, around New York State. And we have Brockport, they're downtown, I believe, as well. So that there's plenty of things within our community that can help us, along with the SBA, the chambers. There's no shortage, I think, of ways to network and meet other people and to get some advice. I know I used the SBDC when I was researching for my business, and they helped me at no charge to send out that research. And the SBDC, if I believe, is downtown at the MCC campus as well. So that's a perfect opportunity. They're right in our backyard, in our own backyard. Casey, what about community resources and things? What do you think? What have you done?
I used small right here. So we have a town of Irondequoit, like our town hall. So they do a farmer's market from April to October. So I contacted the gentleman who runs that. And so he is going to facilitate next season for me to be a consistent person there. So that's going to be something that I was able to figure out for because I'm small. I'm very small. I can't do a whole lot of numbers and product. And specifically for mine, as much as social media works, a lot of times food is word of mouth. It's like someone's experience and they'll tell a friend, or if one person has a good experience, they'll bring somebody with them next time. So a food truck at the farmer's market for a few hours helps know that maybe on this Thursday, Sheila came, and next Thursday, Sheila and Brenda are going to come. So it's just that. So I use something small. I can't reach too large. Score still is a big one. My advisor holds me accountable so much. And I appreciate that immensely. But that's really it. I'm still small and I have to be really careful. I take it very seriously. You grow too fast because like I said, I'm all over the place. So yeah, I really small there, just reaching out to people, even in my own neighborhood. I'll be like, hey, you want me to host something or whatever? So very small for me just yet.
Great, great. Gilberto.
Yeah, the people that are satisfied with your product or service, I think those are the people that I try to reach out to the most for recommendations. They, just like what she says, if Sam is happy with your product or service, she's gonna bring 3 of her friends. Or if you talk to them, if you develop some type of relationship with your customers, and you could just talk to them and say, hey, next time you come, here's a couple cards, or bring a friends or family, or that could go such a long way. It's very easy, but that word of mouth and those relationships with your clients that you already have and already love your product and love your brand, those are walking gold.
Thank you. Yes. Let's talk a little bit about what keeps you motivated. What do you think? What and who? How's that? What keeps you motivated, and who helps you? Who do you go to? To bounce ideas off of, to share the good, share the bad, and what keeps you going every day, Pat?
I'm a big supporter of I call it university, podcast university. I'm a huge proponent of lifelong learning. So there's a lot of stuff that is entrepreneurs that can, like Casey was saying, I'm the same way. I'm like squirrel. I've got 3 million ideas every day, and not all of them are good. But I have to stay focused. And the thing that keeps me grounded is I subscribe to some great podcasts. I mean, I love Entre Leadership. I love Brian Buffini. I listen to Seth Godin, and I listen to stuff that's going to inspire me and encourage me on a daily basis. If you're not a subscriber to Audible, I mean, I love the idea of books. I've got piles of them, but I just don't have time to sit and read. I subscribe to Audible, where I have good business books, where I listen every day. I start off with something positive, something to inspire me, because it's easy to get down on yourself. So I just keep motivated by putting good stuff in and being inspired by NPR's How I Built This. If you don't listen to How I Built This, NPR, you're missing out on treasures, because they basically interview people like Sarah Blakely from Spanx, or the people that started tea brands, or Cliff Bars, how they started in their kitchen making Cliff Bars, and now they're a national brand, and how they actually step by step got there. So I think we need to stay motivated and keep putting the good stuff in, like we were talking about mentors, but also just finding a couple of people that have your own personal entrepreneur cohort to vent, be encouraged, and have someone call you on your stuff if you're out of line, where you can trust them with your deepest fears and your darkest days, and then have them be your champions in your celebration. So think it's surrounding yourself with good people, people in the same, not necessarily the same business, but they have the same spirit that you can connect with, that keeps you going in the trenches.
Yeah, that's great. I've never heard of that. How I Built This? NPR.
Amazing. Yeah,
Okay,
NPR.
that's great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Gilberto.
I'll say I stay motivated. There's a couple things. There's just my family really motivates me, and just know that I'm out here representing my family and you know, from what they've come from and what they've given me in life. I think that's what really fuels my fire, just on a day-to-day, and just trying to make them proud and be the best version of myself to give back to, you know, my nieces and nephews and show them, you know, there's the way to do things and how I would want them to, you know, conduct their businesses and their lives, and just stuff like that. I think that's first and foremost what motivates me. And then again, just other people, like-minded people, exactly what Pat said, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And also one thing I did not too long ago was I got away. You know, I took a weekend to myself and went to the Adirondacks and just got away and cleared my mind and did something. You know, I hiked my first high peak, and that was probably, when I got to the top, it was like horrible weather and it was pretty rough. But when you're up there, I was just yelling, you know, and it's just, that was like so relieving and just stress relieving in itself. So getting away, and I would say that's so important, and just doing it for your family or first, you know, the people who you represent.
Yeah, great. You know, we had that question in the chat as well about, you know, how do you block the time out for yourself? I think that's, you know, that's also, if we can include that in your response, because I think that's, you know, important. So you were on a mountain, was that it, Gilberto? You were okay.
Yeah,
that's great. Wow.
Yeah, it's the smallest of the high peaks. So there's like 46 high peaks in the Adirondacks. Ooh. And some of them are like 17 miles up, but that's not the one I did. It was just 2.5 miles up, okay, and 2.5 miles down, small, manageable. But when I got to the top, it was like way worse weather than the trek up. So it was like very, you know, not everybody in the group that we went with wanted to go all the way to the top because it was like 40 miles an hour winds. But, you know, just those little, you know, those victories. If you don't normally go for a walk in the morning and you go for a walk and you come back and you feel great, it's kind of like that type of thing. Just, you know, It may be small, it may be, you know, getting away for a weekend or a day trip, but, you know, stuff like that, I think, you know, will help so much.
Yeah, great. You know, it's great to, my husband used to have to, you know, drag me out of my office, and because I wouldn't take the time, I was always working. And, you know, you realize this, I think, you know, that you can't keep that kind of pace up, you know, for a long time. So as long as there's somebody who, you know, there who reminds you that, hey, you know, 24/7 is not healthy, and it's, you know, you're not expected to do that. Casey, what about you?
Failure and pride. Those are the two things that motivate me. Failure would be, I do not like the idea of failing at anything. It like just infuriates me. And failure is a one to describe in terms of like knowing your season. Personally, I like the fact that Pat said you're kind of growing through whatever and learning as you grow. Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly sure what he said per se, but I know that knowing that we're in different seasons at all times. And so I may grow through this food truck season into a restaurant season or whatever. So this is my season and not failing in that season. And when I say pride, bringing pride to, like Gil said, my family. I love being a mom and a daughter and a sister. And so making those people that I love so deeply proud of who I am and proud of what I work for, and knowing that I'm no different. And if they want something wild and crazy, you reach for it and let failure guide you. Don't remember that. And each person's definition of failure, what that means to them is very different, but that's the one word I would use.
Yeah, especially I think with kids, and you have how many children?
3. So I have my
3.
2 that I birthed, and I have a bonus baby.
Okay.
So he's the oldest. So yeah, and my husband. So he's a real big baby too.
With kids, I think, it's important to, it's not what's taught, it's what's caught. And, they're watching you. And, I think that's a real powerful thing, see how you handle
Building a legacy.
Yeah.
My dad is an
Yeah.
entrepreneur as well, and just
Okay.
building something greater than myself and showing them that I want them to be better than I ever even dreamt of being.
Yeah, great. Mason, what about you?
So I feel like I'm going to come at this from like a little bit of a different angle. I was super unmotivated in lockdown, like coming back to work after the fact. It was super hard to get back into like the business mindset, start hustling again, creating content, working on social media, getting people in the door, wanting to come to work every day. It was super hard to do coming back from essentially 4 months unemployed. I have found that what you choose to do in your free time, and it's important to make sure you have free time, whether it's a couple hours before bed. If you're just scrolling on social media, delete the people that you don't want to see. If it's not making you feel good about yourself, if it's not making you feel positive or in a good mindset, you don't need it in your life. And that goes for negative influences in your real life, whether it's friends that are just negative or people in your life that kind of try and bring you down or think that your dreams are too big, stuff like that. You don't need it in your life, and you're going to just see that in the future you can make it work without them. So just make sure that you surround yourself with the right people in person. Make sure that you're surrounding your social media with people that you're actually inspired by and want to imitate. Honestly, like I follow a lot of people in my industry that have created brands that own very like high-end salons, have huge followings, everything like that. They're very sought after. People want to get in with them and book with them. Make sure that's the content that you're intaking, and you're not filling your mind and your free time with things that just add to your stress. Owning and running a business is already stressful enough. When you have that free time, make sure you're not just stressing yourself out even more. I know that's hard to do, but I agree with Pat about the podcasts. A lot of people in my industry have started podcasts, so I'm able to listen to that as I drive into work, and that kind of gets me back into like the business hustle mindset. And then just, I would say if you have time off, like weekends, stuff like that, give yourself that time to just recharge. You'll feel a lot better when you come back to the workplace after you had 24, 48 hours to just shut out everything that you were stressed about from the week before, honestly.
Yeah, that was my thing. Especially, I think for everybody with COVID, those first 3 weeks, weren't they great? It was like, oh, holiday vacation, let me just go to the refrigerator and get another snacky snack, but, after a while, then reality set in like, okay, I've got to do something, I can't just, I've got to really start moving here. Let me just wrap this up. Just one more real quick. I wanted to have Pat, if I could just have you answer what you do in your, to keep yourself recharged and energized.
I completely agree with what Gilberto said about, getting outside of yourself and getting away. I try to develop good habits, be it exercise, be it times of reflection. I try to set goals. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What am I aiming for? And we definitely, as entrepreneurs and people in the business space, need to have times of reflection and refreshment. So, and knowing that the business is the business, it's not who you are. Because the business could change. We could close our businesses down, but we're still who we are. So
yeah,
I think we have to have a proper perspective to not let this monster that we've developed or stepped into become who we are and become our identity. And so just keeping things in perspective. And as everyone has so eloquently said, you know, having positive, like Mason said, having positive influences, limiting social media, I think for sure, as much as we try to use it, and keeping healthy heart and head space so that we can focus on the most important things. That's for me, keeps me going and keeps it fun and refreshing instead of the grind that sometimes it can be. We need to know it's not life, it's a part of our life. But we need to have the right priorities in the process.
Yeah, exactly. We are not our, we're not our businesses. We are who we are. Yeah, it's just a part of us. You know, but that's hard to do. That's hard to separate sometimes, isn't it? Isn't it?
It is, because
yeah,
we're always looking for, we always are trying to identify with something or as something. And sometimes those can be veneers that don't allow us to get to the true self of who we are. So, I mean, having those conversations, I think will help us with people we trust to, you know, keep us real and keep us focused. And we all need that.
Yeah. Leaders, leaders know themselves.
Yeah.
It's self first, and you can't do anything really successfully until you understand that.
Yeah.
Well, I can talk to you all day, but I want to wrap up here, and just if you could just thank you all certainly for being a part of this and being a part of our program and presentation. So I know Casey had to jump off, but Mason, Gilberto, Pat, you're awesome. I can't thank you enough. I make sure that you have put all of your contact information in the chat if you choose, so we can, make sure that we refer people to your businesses. And I just want to take a minute and thank you again and introduce Professor Borby, who is going to wrap up our program. Thank you.
Hi there. And again, thank you all. Thanks to the representative businesses that presented their plan earlier, and to the panelists. And, your words were really educational, inspirational, and cautionary. As Casey said, her fear of failure motivates her, but my mother would have said, fear is the beginning of wisdom. So, keep that in mind. And I hope everybody who's attended has gotten a sense and a feel for what the MCC Launch Your Business program is all about. At the beginning of the webinar, Dr. Jacobs showed a slide of the overall process. It is really a 3-part process. And so as we're finishing up with our 3rd year cohort here, we will then be really starting on our 4th year cohort in January with that process. So if anybody would like to please get information on that process, we were going to have a slide that was put up here at the end with the link to that, but please send me your email with your name, your email, your cell phone, et cetera, et cetera. There's Jeremy. So let's get that slide up so you can see the link to get more information, and you can see my email. And please send me an email. I will put you on our list, and we will be starting to plan, and you'll be getting information. And, we hope you will consider this. It's a lot of work, as you've heard from our panelists. It's a lot of work. So there we go. Wonderful. Okay. And there's Marge's email as well. But if you send me your email, I'm the sort of the keeper of the list for next year. And that very first link is the link for Launch Your Business on our MCC website. And the second link, if you're interested in reading about what corporate college is, we've referred to that many times, that is the link to corporate college. So if you have a cell phone, you want to quick take a picture of that would be great. So again, couldn't be happier. Thank you so much for all of your information. And Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all. Thank you, Jodelle, for an amazing job. Thank you, Marge, for all your work. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. So I am going to end the webinar now, and thank you all for attending, and have a great weekend here and enjoy the nice weather.
Thanks all.
Thank you.